Ever watched a neighbor dare someone to go ahead and instantly regret it? I work at a niche retail store in the center of town. Our customers are dedicated and often travel long distances just to visit us, so having our parking lot available is essential. The problem is our next-door neighbor, a family-run landscaping and garden supply store. Their parking habits have been a headache for years. The tension between my boss and the landscaping owner started long before I joined. It began over something unbelievably small, a complaint about a tree on our side of the lot. It should have been nothing, but instead it turned into a long-running neighbor feud that never fully went away. After the pandemic, business in town picked up again. Our lot filled quickly, but half the cars didn't even belong to us. The landscaper had designated most of his own parking spaces for his work vans, even though those vans were almost never there during business hours. As a result, his customers simply used our larger lot, leaving our own customers circling for spaces. My boss tried to approach things calmly. He met with the landscaper and suggested a compromise: free up a few parking spots for their customers, and in return, their vans were welcome to park in our lot whenever needed. The landscaper refused immediately. He insisted all his spots had to remain reserved for vans. Again, the same vans that were barely present during the day. The argument escalated until my boss mentioned separating the lots with a fence. The landscaper practically encouraged it, probably knowing how expensive that would be. Both men walked away, and they didn't speak again for more than 2 years. Fast forward to recently, when a parking management company reached out to us with an offer that felt like a gift. They proposed installing automated license plate cameras to enforce parking. Visitors would get a generous 3-hour free window, and anyone staying longer would receive a fee unless they paid or got an extension from us. The installation would cost us nothing, and we'd receive most of the revenue. There was one catch. The cameras needed a clear view of both entrances, ours and the landscapers, because the lots were connected. Trying once again to be a good neighbor, my boss had the parking company's representative approach the landscaper to explain the system. The landscaper didn't even let the rep finish. He threw him out and made it clear his parking area would never become a paid zone. My boss thought about the fence again, but didn't want the cost or the hassle. That's when one of his construction buddies offered a cheaper solution: large stone barriers. He had several left over from a recent project and could place them at a steep discount. Even better, the parking company agreed to front the cost and deduct it from future parking revenue. Early Monday morning, before any stores opened, a worker from the construction crew arrived with a crane truck. He positioned the stones neatly along the edge of the lot, wide enough for people to walk through with carts, but impossible for vehicles. As he worked, the landscaper came charging out and tried to stop him. The worker calmly told him to step back for safety. The landscaper backed off, annoyed and completely unable to argue. What happened afterward was almost comical. The landscaping staff had been using our lot for so long that they drove in out of pure habit. Now they found themselves facing huge stone barriers, suddenly realizing there was no way through. We watched the confusion from our new security cameras, installed to monitor any retaliation, and tried not to laugh as their vans got stuck, forcing them to reverse awkwardly and loop all the way around to their own tight parking area. At one point, a van scraped one of the stones while trying to maneuver, which the camera captured clearly. The next day, the parking company installed the cameras and signage. While they worked, the landscaper's family walked around our lot filming everything as if preparing a case. But the installation was fully compliant, and there wasn't a single issue they could report. My boss was in a noticeably cheerful mood as he supervised. Then something unexpected happened. The landscaper's family started parking their personal cars in our lot, probably out of spite. One afternoon, my coworker saw one of them run out of their store to move a car, but we didn't think much of it. A week later, the landscaper's son walked into our shop looking uncomfortable. He had accidentally stayed more than 3 hours and received a $150 fee. He pleaded with us to waive it, saying it was an honest mistake. My boss simply said, "I'd love to help, but the parking company handles all of that now." The son left quietly, and that was the last time any of their family parked on our side. Now, our lot stays open for our customers. The landscapers struggle with their much smaller space, and the stone line remains exactly where it is. My boss has been in a much better mood ever since.